Hi guys, it's SugarPlumSims here and welcome back to another video. Today we're creating a haunted house because who doesn't like a haunted house? Basically nobody, but this is part of a collab. I've already done like one video for this collab. That was the dead ghost bride, which, as someone actually pointed out to me, it is not a dead ghost bride because a ghost is already dead, and it's also kind of like a ghost is sort of alive. Yeah, it made more sense to me when I read it, but maybe I should have changed the title of it. But anyway, so this is a haunted house, and it is for the collab with Max Playground and a bunch of other simmers. There's already been a bunch of videos added to the playlist, which I will leave a link down below for. And who's actually uploaded so far to the playlist? I know that Pineapple has, Improved has, Cornica D has, I know Kim Sims is uploading for the collab, and I think like a bunch of other people, but I can't remember who. Sorry about that. But if I actually did list out everyone who's part of the collab, this would be a very long voiceover, longer than 20 minutes, which is apparently too long for me to do because I keep messing up, and this is the third time I'm trying to record this voiceover. Maybe it's because I literally woke up like 2 hours ago. And yes, it is 2 o'clock when I'm recording this, and yes, I am very lazy and I do not get up that early. But yeah, so what did I want to say about this house? The shape actually came together very easily. It only took me like, I want to say 10 minutes to come up with the shape of the house, which is quite quick for me, I think. I don't know, maybe it's not. Maybe that's long for me. I don't know, but I actually I really want to renovate this house to make it look nice, because it is very run down and kind of, yeah, I built it in the vampire world, which should make a lot of sense as to why it's so creepy and distressed, but it is a kind of haunted house, and it's meant to be very creepy and very dark and gloomy and run down, which I think I achieved that somewhat well. Is that correct grammar? Probably not. But yeah, so I had a lot of fun building this house actually, because I haven't really built anything that's meant to be sort of creepy or haunted. I built like one starter home that was like for a vampire, but that is about it because I have not really explored the vampire pack very much. In fact, I haven't even played with vampires. It's very weird how I can go so long without even exploring a pack fully, and yet in the meantime I want so much more content. Maybe I'm just very greedy, although to be honest I don't really play that much gameplay, and when I do play gameplay I feel like I should be recording it or something, because that's kind of like whenever I'm playing The Sims I feel like I should be recording something because that's just my mentality at the moment. But I do have a lot of fun playing The Sims on my own sometimes, because I have been doing like the Super Sim challenge on my own, which I've always thought it was like a challenge that someone came up with and it's like an official challenge, but I actually think it was just made up by James Turner, and I'm pretty sure that it's not like an official challenge or anything, but I play it in my own time because it's fun, grinding skills, and I have a lot of fun with it because you don't really have to think when you're playing, and that's something I enjoy doing. I enjoy not thinking. That sounded very wrong, like obviously I like to think, but when I'm playing The Sims I'm just like, yeah, this is my relaxation time. I don't want to think about things. Yeah, I don't know what I'm saying. Never mind, I will just completely forget exactly what I just said, and you should do too, because I have already tried to record this voiceover and it did not go well. Did I mention that already? Probably. And there goes my phone. As per usual, I always forget to turn it on silent. But yeah, so the exterior of this is very kind of Tudor, kind of, I think. But then I added a bunch of like ivy and cracks and dead plants and stuff because I feel like that makes it look a bit more creepy. And actually Pineapple's build was really cool. That was like a the house from the It movie, and it looked really cool. And I was actually like, before I built this, because I watched her video before I built this, I was like, oh, maybe I should get those boarded up window type things, like the decals, and I was going to get them, but then I thought, nah, it's kind of like, well, for one, it's kind of copying and I wanted to be more original, and two, I just could not be bothered, and so I did not use those boarded up window type things, but I could have done, and maybe I will make a like a build in the future that's meant to be creepy and stuff, and I'll use those boarded window type things. But yeah, so this build is meant to be, since it's very dark, I only made all the corridors and stuff very narrow, and all the rooms were quite small. Even though this house seems quite big, it's actually very tiny on the inside, although there's a lot of kind of corridor space, so maybe that's where all the space went. I'm also going to Manchester tomorrow. I've never been before, so it should be exciting. I'm only going for 2 days though with my mum, and it's going to be kind of busy because it's mainly for our work, and although I'm also seeing my grandma, which is cool because I haven't seen her in like a month, and I know before it used to be like, oh, I haven't seen her in like 5 years, but now it's just a month, which is very nice. And going to go to somewhere to eat, I don't know where, yeah, I think it's like an Italian place, which should be cool. And I don't really know much about Manchester, to be honest. I know it's probably quite busy. I feel like it's going to be like London, because we are going to like central Manchester, I think, I can't remember, and it's going to be kind of hectic. And I am also going to try and persuade my sister to lend me her coat, because I have a coat, but it's not waterproof, which is kind of the downside to having that coat, and two, I don't really like it, even though my mum likes it. You know, sometimes I am alright wearing it, but it's just like a bit like fancy. I don't know, it's not really that fancy. It's like sort of a bomber jacket style. It's like a poofy coat, and then it's also like a light creamy colour, which I don't know, it just seems a bit fancy to me, and I don't like wearing it that much, but I have to because it's literally my only coat. And although my mum did buy it for me, so you know, I should be grateful for it, but I also should probably like get a waterproof coat because I don't have one, and I live in England, and yes, it does kind of rain somewhat in England, although like before I came to England, everyone was always like, my mum was always like, oh, you don't want to go to England, it rains pretty much like every day, but it doesn't, like only in winter and autumn. And oh, my voice is going, that is great. I'm gonna quickly get some water because I woke up like 2 hours ago, and even though I woke up 2 hours ago, I then came into my sister's room and fell asleep for another hour, so that's great. Hang on, let me quickly drink. Okay, that's great. I'm gonna mute that because it probably sounded weird, but yeah, so I'm just doing some landscaping with some dead plants. It looks great, and did I mention this already? I don't know. It becomes very confusing when you record multiple voiceovers for the same video about what you said and what you didn't say, but I do want to like renovate this and turn it into a nice pretty home at some point. Maybe I'll do that, maybe I won't. I'm very bad at keeping promises, I realised that. Like, I said I'd do some type of challenge build for what was it, 400 subscribers, and I never got around to doing it, which I do apologise for, but there is kind of a reason for that, because I have been revising for my GCSEs, which I have in June, I think, next year, and I'm stressed about it, because I have not been getting great grades on like past papers that I've been doing, and I am just trying to practice a lot, and it's not going so well. In fact, the past couple of days I haven't really been doing it, like practicing and stuff, because what was my excuse again? I did have an excuse. What was it? Because I was tired and I literally could not think. That was my excuse there. But I actually couldn't really think when I was trying to do a past paper. I was like, what? I don't really know what I'm supposed to be doing here. So I gave up on that, and I'm going to probably do it. I should probably do one before I go, because I'm not going to have time to revise, obviously, over the weekend. But I'll do one before I go, and then I'll see if I can mark it. I don't know, it's a maths one. And I am usually okay at maths in class, but just in exams and stuff, you have so many formulas that you have to remember. Honestly, I feel like half of GCSEs, no, not even half, like most of GCSEs is literally just like remembering things, which I think is a bit stupid, because, you know, why do I need to remember how to bisector line. Actually, maybe bisection isn't alright skill to learn in maths, I don't know. Also here I am rotating a painting so that is backwards, which I think looks kind of cool and kind of creepy, so thank you. You may all steal my idea if you'd like, and actually it's probably already been done, so that's okay. But I thought it was just kind of creepy and I wanted to do it, which is why it was one of like the first things I actually did. And I added a lot of clutter and furniture into this build because nothing says creepy like a bunch of old furniture. No offense if like old furniture is your aesthetic. Does that sound right to you? That sounded wrong to me when I said that. Oh well, never mind. And I also went into live mode. I'm not in like the mode where I'm able to go into live mode at the moment yet, but later on in the video I add a sim to the lot and I changed the lighting to a dim light. That was great. Sorry, I'm like still kind of half asleep even though I've been up for technically 2 hours, but I am just kind of still tired. I don't know, recently I've been needing so much sleep. It's very annoying actually. I literally went to bed at, okay, so I went to bed at like 1, but then I got up at 1:30 because my little sister was still awake. I was like, look, you need to go to sleep because otherwise you're going to be really tired. I am such a responsible big sister, aren't I? Not really, but I did kind of go to sleep at 1:30, which is kind of late, and then I woke up at 12. Yes, I do wake up late. It's a thing that teenagers do, I believe, and probably a lot of adults if they don't have work. But I woke up kind of late, and then I went into her room, fell asleep for another hour, and now I am awake again. And it's currently 2 o'clock, so yeah, I've only been up for like 2 hours. But yeah, so this is the little kitchen. I actually really like the kitchen. I added knives because I added 2 sets of knives because that is kind of a bit terrifying. If you went to a house and they just had stacks upon stacks of knives, I think that would be kind of scary and I would probably leave that house. But luckily this house is supposed to be abandoned. I did make all the furniture that I could make dirty. That's just when you go into testing cheats on and then you shift click on items that can be made dirty and then you just make them dirty. So I made this dining room table dirty, I made the sinks dirty, the toilets dirty, which actually looked disgusting in live mode because it was all like green and flies were like hovering over it and stuff, but it's okay. And then I also made like the showers and stuff dirty. Just a bunch of things were dirty. And I also add another backwards painting because you can never have enough of those. Actually, I don't really like the painting in this room. I feel like I should have chosen a smaller one because that seems a bit big to be just casually turned upside down. Or backwards, not upside down. That would be kind of cool if you can like make objects upside down. Although I don't think it would really work with the game's physics because you know, you just have like a chair upside down and it's only standing on like the little thin part at the back. So yeah, that wouldn't make much sense. But this is the creepy little office room, and honestly I kind of wish I would have added more like cracks and more cobwebs. I didn't even add any cobwebs to the office, I don't think. Or maybe I did, I can't remember. At the end I literally went through and added so many cracks and cobwebs and dirty marks on the wall because that is about the creepiest thing I could think of to add to this house. And this house actually ended up lagging out my game a lot because I think it's either because of the lighting or it was just a lot of things in this house, a lot of kind of ivy on the walls and stuff. But I didn't even have the nice lighting on because I thought it was a bit of a waste of like speed, like game performance, since this world doesn't have like nice lighting anyway. But yes, I did a bunch of cobwebs, my worst nightmare. I hate spiders. In fact though, yesterday I saw this little spider creeping through like my vent in the window, and I was just like, you know, I don't care because it's pouring rain outside and you must be cold. Yes, I am a very considerate, lovely person who definitely does not like capture spiders and then taunts them in a jar. I do not do that at all. well, maybe sometimes. Actually no, I just like looking at spiders when they're caught because I feel like they're kind of interesting to look at. Hang on, let me quickly pause this because I feel like my little sister is trying to get out of her bedroom door and I am stopping her because she doesn't want to make a sound because she's a very considerate little sister. Okay, so she may have been considerate, but she was very angry apparently because she had been waiting an hour because I have been apparently spending an hour trying to record this voiceover. No surprise there, because I am not great at recording voiceovers. But yeah, so what was I going on about? Yeah, she was apparently very hungry, and I'm actually very hungry, so I kind of wish this voiceover would end up a bit quicker, but I still have like 5 minutes left, so I need to power on and talk about the build, the garage. I don't like the garage that much. It was a bit basic and I didn't really know what to add in the garage. I added like this produce thing with oranges coming out of it, which does not make sense because if this build was abandoned, those would be moldy black fairy oranges and they would probably be half decomposed because I kind of envisioned this house to have been abandoned for like, I don't know, maybe 25 years. No, I don't know, maybe like a century. I go from like 25 years to a century, no big deal there. Although I found this bedroom right here very difficult to build in because the roofing was just peeking through, and in the screenshots it doesn't look that nice actually. The roofing does kind of ruin the look of this bedroom right here. I kind of wish you could colour the inside of the roof, but you can't, which is kind of annoying because if so then you could make like sloping roofs and it would kind of look cool, but oh well, never mind. I do actually change around the bed though because it didn't really fit in with the fireplace over there, so I add in like a little wall in front of that door and I make it kind of creepy and grand, and a vampire could live here because literally like no one would come here apart from vampires, and it would probably suit a vampire very much because they don't even use the sinks and stuff, so it doesn't matter that they are dirty and disgusting and gross. But yeah, so I did add a bunch of like decorative creepy old items in there, and then this is like a little storage room. I probably should have made this at the very top of the house, but I forgot about that room at the top of the house, so oh well, never mind. But I add in a organ. What is that? Is that an organ? I honestly do not know what that instrument right there is. I can't remember the name. I think it might be an organ. Maybe it is. But I added that because that's creepy, I think. I could have just added like a grand piano or something, but I think that wouldn't have fit very well into this room. I kind of wish we had a like piano that was kind of like this organ. I'm gonna call it an organ. It's probably not an organ and you're probably all like that's not an organ, that's this, but I don't know. But I kind of wish they had like an organ, like a piano in the game that was sort of a similar size to the organ, but like it kind of looked like the organ without the pipe parts at the back. So I kind of wish we had like an in-between a keyboard and a grand piano, because that would be great, because in my house I don't have like a grand piano. I have like the smaller piano type thing, but it's not a keyboard, because I have the keyboard in my bedroom. And speaking of which, I haven't played in a while. I should probably play. And I can't be bothered to plug it back in because I always unplug it, and then that's probably the reason why I haven't played in a while, because I just can't be bothered to unplug it. Yes, I am very lazy. But yeah, so here's where I realised that you probably won't be able to see this painting in the screenshots because the roofing is in the way, but I think you can. It's just like quite cut off, and I think I pull away these roofing bits for the moment. Yeah, I do. And then I'm changing the intensity of the lighting. I actually changed it to like an orange tone because I think that looks kind of cool and creepy, and yeah, that's pretty much it. Then the hallway, just adding a bunch of cobwebs and stuff. Literally, this house must be crawling with spiders because the amount of cobwebs here. I'd hate to be in this house, unless it was like renovated and stuff, which I could do. But yeah, just adding a few more cracks and stuff. I think it's actually quite hard to use those cracks because like they kind of look a bit bad in some areas, like if you use too many of them, but at the same time they do kind of make the build look a bit more authentically creepy. I use the word creepy way too much. But yeah, so I'm probably going to leave it off here because we are at the screenshots. I do hope you enjoyed. If you did, give this a big thumbs up and also subscribe if you're new, and I will see you all in my next video. And also make sure to check out the playlist in the description down below for everybody else's videos. But anyway, bye!